One word dominates Red Square right now: victory. The word Pobeda stares down from giant red banners. It flashes across video screens. Close by, people are taking selfies beside an art installation that spells out the word.
Rwandan singer Aimable Karasira has died as he was being released from prison in Kigali, according to the Rwanda Correctional Service, RCS. The RCS said he had died at Nyarugenge Hospital after he had allegedly overdosed on his prescription medication.
And warning. This story contains content which some readers might find distressing. A US judge has ordered the release of a document purported to be a suicide note written by convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein a month before his death. And Tehran. Iran, a meeting between two of Iran's leaders may seem routine. But President Masoud Pezeshkian's announcement that he had a positive discussion with Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei and is an attempt to push back against efforts from the United States to portray the Islamic Republic's leadership as divided. And Pezeshkian's announcement on Thursday appears to mark the first time the president has been able to get an audience with Khamenei since the latter's selection 2 months ago for Iran's most powerful position.
The United States is trying to de-escalate Israel's actions in Lebanon as it pushes for solidifying an ongoing ceasefire and moving to the next phase of negotiations between the two sides, according to a Lebanese official. The official, who spoke to Al Jazeera Arabic on condition of anonymity, revealed on Thursday the details of the planned second stage of negotiations between Israel and Lebanon after an initial round in Washington, D.C., in mid-April, which led to the current status quo of a ceasefire being declared, but attacks continuing. The World Health Organization, WHO, has confirmed 5 cases of hantavirus linked to deaths aboard a cruise ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Another 3 cases are suspected of being linked to the Andes strain of the hantavirus. The WHO says more cases are possible, but the risk to public health remains low. The U.S. health authorities are monitoring residents in at least 3 states after a deadly hantavirus outbreak linked to the MV Hondius cruise ship before the upcoming FIFA World Cup 2026. The development follows a World Health Organization alert over infections tied to the ship, where 3 deaths and multiple suspected and confirmed cases have been reported since April.
Islamabad, the Federal Constitutional Court, FCC, on Thursday cited Section 7E of the Income Tax Ordinance. I-2001 has ultravised the Constitution, which had empowered tax authorities to levy tax on deemed income from assets and properties, having a significant impact on the Federal Board of Revenue's, FBR. Property taxation's Section 7E was introduced through the Finance Act 2022 for the tax year 2023.
Countries worldwide sought to prevent further spread of the hantavirus on Thursday after an outbreak on a cruise ship by tracking those who had already disembarked before the virus was detected and anyone in close contact with them, since 3 people, a Dutch couple and a German national, died in the outbreak on the MV Hondius.
Iran is trying to force shippers to comply with a new protocol for transiting the Strait of Hormuz, or risk attack. Tehran has laid out a set of new rules for vessels seeking to transit the Strait of Hormuz, according to a document seen by CNN, pressing ahead with efforts to formalize control over the waterway in defiance of US warnings. Israel's opposition is uniting to try to unseat Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in upcoming elections. Former Prime Ministers Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid are joining forces, but deep divisions remain over the war with Iran and Israel's future direction. As pressure mounts on Netanyahu after months of war and political turmoil, can the opposition really take power? In this episode...
And A document purported to be a suicide note written by disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein has been released by a judge in New York. The decision by US District Judge Kenneth Karras did not establish the note's authenticity, but simply found that it was a judicial document subject to the public's right of access. And Google on Thursday unveiled its new Fitbit Air, a Whoop-like screenless wearable that retails for $100. The device includes health and fitness tracking features like 24/7 heart rate monitoring and heart rhythm monitoring with AFib, atrial fibrillation, alerts, blood oxygen level, resting heart rate variability, sleep stages and duration, and more. And the tech giant said in a blog post that the device is aimed at people who find wearable devices to be too bulky, complicated or expensive, noting that the Fitbit Air is simple, affordable and comfortable enough to wear 24/7.
Alongside taking the wraps off the new Fitbit Air, a Whoop-esque fitness band, Google on Thursday also said it is rebranding its Fitbit app as Google Health and launching an AI-powered health coach as a subscription service. The health app will become a central part of Google's fitness strategy, capitalizing on its 2021 acquisition of Fitbit, which saw the tech giant delving into fitness wearables to supplement its more general-purpose Android smartwatch.
And when Anthropic unveiled its new Mythos model in April, it also delivered a stern warning to anyone developing software. The model was so powerful at sniffing out software vulnerabilities, the lab claimed, and that it had discovered thousands of high-severity bugs that would need to be fixed before it could be made public. Now, and security researchers for Mozilla's Firefox browser are providing a closer look at what that process has looked like in practice and what Mythos's powers mean for software security at large. And Cherry Mass Pakistan is evaluating to launch to 3 future models for the local market, including the Tigo 4, HEV, QQBV and Tigo V, products that reflect Cherry's broader focus on hybrid and electric and multi-purpose mobility solutions. Cherry Master Pakistan, introduced locally by Master Auto Engineering, part of the Master Group with over 60 years of industrial and automotive legacy, and has signaled the potential introduction of multiple new models in the local market, following its strong participation at Auto China 2026 and where the company engaged with global leadership and reviewed Cherry's next-generation product and technology roadmap.
The government has decided in principle to allow commercial banks to take possession of mortgaged houses in cases of loan default after a cumulative notice period of 90 days, as it seeks to encourage lending to Pakistan's housing sector. The proposed legal change is part of amendments to the Financial Institutions Recovery of Finances Ordinance, which are currently under review, NDU, by the National Assembly's Standing Committee on Finance and Revenue. Islamabad. The government decided in principle to grant commercial banks significant powers to take over mortgaged houses in case of default after a cumulative notice period of 90 days. In a move aimed at encouraging lending to the housing sector, the proposed foreclosure law to amend the Financial Institutions Recovery of Finances Ordinance 2001. Currently under review by the National Assembly's Standing Committee on Finance and Revenue, provides that where a customer defaults on payment of mortgage dues, the financial institution may issue 3 notices of 30 days each, demanding payment of the outstanding mortgage amount. Ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas have stalled and Gaza risks sliding back into war. This week, an Israeli airstrike killed the son of Hamas's leader and chief negotiator Khalil al-Hayya, and Palestinian sources confirmed to the BBC that the two sides had reached a deadlock in negotiations.
Athletes from Belarus should once again compete with their full national identity and not be vetted for neutral status, the International Olympic Committee has said, though the advice to sports governing bodies does not yet apply also to Russia. It seemed to point towards being closer to ending Russia's isolation in Olympic circles during its war on Ukraine. Skyroot Aerospace has become India's first space tech unicorn after raising $60 million in a new investment ahead of the maiden orbital launch of its Vikram 1 rocket in the coming weeks. The funding round valued the Hyderabad-based startup at $1.1 billion on a pre-money basis and included about $50 million in primary equity co-led by Sherpalo Ventures and GIC, along with around $10 million in structured debt managed by funds affiliated with BlackRock, the company told TechCrunch. You can spend months trying to get in front of the right people, or you can show up where they're already looking. At TechCrunch Disrupt 2026, more than 10,000 founders, investors and operators will gather at Moscone West from October 13 to 15. And at the center of it all, where deals start, conversations accelerate, and new companies get discovered, is the Expo.
Police have arrested and brought 44 charges against 3 men for allegedly operating an SMS blaster in downtown Toronto. The scheme, which began in November 2025, is the first known instance of an SMS blaster operating in Canada, according to the police report. In a statement, the Toronto Police Service said it believes tens of thousands of devices were blasted with spammy text messages over several months.
And Startup Battlefield 200 applications are open, but only for 3 more weeks. Apply by May 27 for your shot at VC access, global visibility, TechCrunch coverage, $100K equity free, and more opportunities for major scaling impact. And pre-Series A founders and anyone who knows a startup worth backing, this is your reminder. The deadline is approaching fast, and the strongest contenders are already entering the arena. If your startup has been nominated, and don't wait, complete your application now before the window closes.
The University of Health Sciences, UHS, has approved 7 new certificate courses aimed at improving research capacity, clinical skills, laboratory standards and scientific communication for students in health sciences disciplines. The approval was granted during the 225th meeting of the Advanced Studies and Research Board, which was chaired by Vice-Chancellor Professor Ahsan Wahid Rathor.
A ministerial committee meeting regarding the regularization of ad hoc teachers in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa was held on Thursday in Peshawar under the chairmanship of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Minister for Elementary and Secondary Education, Arshad Ayub Khan. During the meeting, the committee agreed in principle to regularize approximately 14,000 ad hoc teachers across the province. Formal approval for this decision will be sought from the provincial cabinet. IQ has officially teased the upcoming IQ 15T and IQ Pad 6 Pro in China and has opened pre-reservations for both devices. Rumors about the 2 products surfaced late last month, suggesting a May launch. However, the company has not yet announced an official launch date.
And the Punjab Food Authority, PFA, acting on the directions of Director General Syed Musa Raza, uncovered a unit involved in the illegal production of oil from animal fat and offal near Sabzi Mandi, Rohingya. The operation was led by Additional Director Lahore Khawaja Umair. During the raid, officials discarded 33,030 kilograms of animal fat and offal, along with 5,000 litres of oil prepared from fat.
The Sindh High Court, SHC, has directed the Sindh government to restore Karachi's University Road within 2 months, while declaring the sealing of the office and machinery of a contractor working on the Bus Rapid Transit, BRT, Red Line Lot 2 project illegal. The ruling was issued during hearings related to the sealing of the contractor's office and machinery amid ongoing construction work on the BRT Red Line project.
And Pakistan Test captain Shan Masood has expressed confidence in the bowling attack as the national side prepares to face Bangladesh in the first test of the 2-match series in Mirpur on Friday. The Green Shirts are visiting Bangladesh for a test series after being whitewashed on home soil by the Bengal Tigers in August 2024. The visitors had won the two-match series by 10 wickets and 6 wickets respectively in Rawalpindi.